welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
Do you have a passion for pickleball yet, Rainbow?
Not really.
No?
Not really.
An interest?
A slight interest.
A slight interest for pickleball. I think passion is a more powerful
It's a strong
title.
word.
But at least you're being honest. Okay, I have an interest for pickleball, an interest in pickleball. It sounds like a sport. You mentioned paddleball.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I think I remember paddleball.
Or netball, you know?
No, netball's kind of like basketball.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a real sport they do. I don't know if they play it in the Olympics, but it's a real sport they play around the world. But yeah, there were all these kind of, casual, relaxed forms of tennis that I remember growing up. They sound a little bit different from pickleball, but very similar. But also, if you guys know the much more well-known sports of tennis, badminton, table tennis, or ping pong, or even volleyball, you probably have a good idea of what pickleball is about. But the interesting thing is, it was invented by two bored families in the 1960s with some old sports equipment they had, but now, today, it's played all around the world, and there's even talk of getting the sport of pickleball into the biggest sporting event the world knows. We're going to find out all about this in today's article. To the surprise of the game's creators, pickleball is now being played by around 4.8 million people, which is almost twice the number of players as 5 years ago. One of the reasons for this jump is that the rules are easy to learn. Also, the equipment is very simple. Paddles, a ball, and a mobile net are all you need to play on nearly any flat surface. Since the playing surface is only about 1/3 the size of a tennis court, you don't even require much room to play. All right, so let's get into part 2 of Passion for Pickleball, the unlikely rise of a backyard sport. It's been quite an interesting journey from pickleball's beginnings to where it is now. Remember, two bored families invented this probably on a summer afternoon in Seattle back in the 1960s. That was then. This is now. And what's the situation now? To the surprise of the game's creators, pickleball is now being played by around 4.8 million people, which is almost twice the number of players as 5 years ago.
That's fast. I wonder why it grew so quickly.
I don't know, maybe COVID?
Maybe.
People were stuck at home? Or
they could only be in their backyard.
I think people are looking for more interesting ways to get exercise easily, right?
Oh,
Tennis
yeah.
is great,
Yeah.
but you gotta go to the place and
you
rent
have to
the
have a
thing
court.
and have the equipment. And this is something you can just do in your own backyard. So of course the creators of this sport are very surprised at how popular it's become.
That's right. Creator is the noun, and create, that's C-R-E-A-T-E, that is the verb. So to create something means to make something, and the creator is the person who came up with the game. They made it up in their heads, or they made it into action. And you can not only create a game, you can also not only create a sport, but also like a program or a piece of art. You can create so many different things. It comes from you. The computer program's creator is a teenager from Chicago.
Interesting. Often we have special words for creators, right? Like artists, musicians, inventors,
Filmmaker.
writers, but for something where there isn't really a special word like computer game, I guess you could say programmer. But sometimes it's more the ideas.
The thoughts.
Creators it's a good word to use for anyone who gets the inspiration to do something new.
One of the reasons for this jump is that the rules are easy to learn, because everybody can learn it, right? And it's not super complicated.
And it's kind of like tennis or ping pong or other sports we've played. Okay.
Also, the equipment is very simple. Paddles, a ball, and a mobile net are all you need to play on nearly any flat surface. Must be why it was so popular. I think it really has to do with COVID and the limitations of it without having a big court.
It could be. I mean, you could probably make some of these things yourself.
You
Get
could.
some wood and attach a handle to it. There's your paddle. You might have an old plastic ball lying around, and that net, well, I know a lot of people with old volleyball or badminton nets in their backyard, in the garage, in the basement, in a box. Get that out. And the other thing is, of course, the whole sport is quite mobile, or mobile, as some people would say. This adjective mobile means you can move it very easily. You can
play a mobile phone.
Like a mobile phone, right? You can move it around and you're not stuck in one place. It's not attached to the ground. You could play pickleball in your backyard, pack it up when you go camping, take it to the beach with you, just put the net in the ground and you're off. Well, actually, the beach would be hard because you have sand.
Yeah, true.
But still, you could play it in lots of places because everything can be moved. Everything is mobile. For example, she works as a doctor in a mobile blood bank.
Oh, it's those cars.
Yeah, it's like a bus, and they've turned it into a place where you give blood, and they can travel and move around. That's why it's mobile.
Since the playing surface is only about 1/3 the size of a tennis court, you don't even require much room to play.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really convenient.
Yeah, absolutely. You could play in a parking lot, you could play in your backyard, almost anywhere. When something requires something, in the case of tennis, they said it requires a lot of space. That means it needs it. Require and need are virtually the same. You must have this thing in order to be successful. You need food to live, you require water to live. It's something you need to be alive. For example, this game requires 4 people to play. So if you got 3 people, you're going to need to find one more friend. Let's take a break and we'll be back.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。前一天的课文提到，匹克球 Pickleball 是由2个感到无聊的家庭，他们结合了手边剩下的那种运动用品，创造出新的玩法。那让这项运动的创造者意外的是，现在大约有480万人在打匹克球，这个人数啊，差不多是5年前的2倍。那人数会暴涨的原因，可能是因为它的规则容易学啊，装备简单，而且不需要很多空间就能打球了。好，单字 creator 它表示创造者、发明者，它的动词是 create， 就有这种创造、发明的意思。再来看到 mobile 或者是念作 mobile， 它是形容可移动的、行动的。require 这个动词则表示需要或是要求。那这边2个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，来看第一个重点是 to the 情绪名词 of somebody， 这是表达让某人怎么样怎么样的事。那也可以写作 to somebody's 加上情绪名词。那这类的副词片语就是用来描述主要子句的事件带给某人的感受，它可以摆在句首或是句中，常常会用逗号来隔开主要子句。好，那常见的搭配情绪名词就有 surprise 意外惊讶 disappointment 失望 joy 高兴 regret 懊悔 relief 安心啊，松一口气等等。举例来说 Much to the joy of her parents, she got a job at a prestigious law firm. 令她父母非常高兴的是，她在一家声誉卓著的律师事务所找到工作。那在 to 的前面加入副词 much， 只是要强调程度。我们这个例句呢，其实你也可以把它换一个写法，就是说 She got a job at a prestigious law firm. 逗号 much to her parents' joy. 好，再来学的是倍数的表示法。在表达几倍的时候，英文会用数字加 times， 像 3 times 3倍 4 times 4倍等等。那2倍我们除了用 2 times， 也可以用 twice。还有1/2会用 half， 1/3用 1/3。我们以下介绍3种表示倍数的句型。第一个句型是倍数加上 as 形容词 as， 那有时候会在形容词后面加名词。例如 The dog is twice as heavy as our cat。那只狗是我们家猫咪的2倍重。下一个句型是用倍数加上比较级 than 什么什么，那有时候会看到比较级后面有接名词。注意哦，我们用 twice 或者是 half 进行比较的时候，通常就不会用这个比较级加 than 的句型。我们刚刚的例句呢，你其实可以改成 The dog is 2 times heavier than our cat。再来，我们介绍的句型是倍数加上 the 加名词计量词加 of 什么什么。常见的名词计量词有 size、length、age、number、weight、height 等等。所以像刚刚的例句，你也可以把它改成 The dog is twice the weight of our cat， 这样意思都一样哦。接回到课文中。
As more pickleball courts for casual players pop up across the U.S., 2 professional tournaments have also gotten rolling in the last 4 years. The large amounts of prize money are helping make the sport a possible career, and games streamed online draw in ever greater numbers of fans. Looking to the future, pickleball organizers are hoping to take the sport to the Olympics in 2028. This would require a total of 75 countries to have competitive players. Currently, 70 countries are members of the International Federation of Pickleball, so it appears pickleball has a good shot at becoming an Olympic sport. All right, so pickleball has a lot of fans. 4.8 million people are playing it, and as more people are playing it, they're also playing it in other places, not just in their backyard or somewhere near their home.
That's right. The article says as more pickleball courts for casual players pop up across the U.S., 2 professional tournaments have also gotten rolling in the last 4 years. That's a big spread.
That's true. So they have like a pickleball Wimbledon or a pickleball U.S. Open
World
or
Cup.
something like that. Who knows what's going on with this? But the other thing we learned there is that they're actually building courts. So maybe in your local park or at the local sports center outside, they might have pickleball courts for the casual player.
Oh, okay. So the word casual means not very serious. You're just doing something for fun. If you dress casually, it could be t-shirt and a pair of jeans. If you dress formally, on the other hand, you'd be wearing a suit and tie. So we have these 2 words in comparison, casual and formal. And if I'm just playing a game and it's casual, we're not so worried about all the rules or the way that it's set up. But if it's very formal, all the rules matter. How many inches? What is the length of the net? How big is the court? Now, we usually probably think of this pickleball game as pretty casual, but I guess it's becoming more and more formal over the years, and especially nowadays. Joe is a casual fan of the show, but his brother knows everything about it. So Joe just knows the character, but his brother's like, I can quote it, I know what goes on, I know the relationship between everybody, because I really seriously like it. But if you're casually enjoying something, you just kind of do it for fun.
The casual fan will, know the basic stuff.
Yeah.
The opposite would be the passionate fan who knows everything, who sees everything,
Gets
who reads
angry.
everything. They listen to podcasts about it. They're really into it. Casual, I like it, but I don't need it. It's not the big part of my life, but I do enjoy it. All right, so casual fans are playing this sport, but we do have professionals, I guess, because they're entering these very organized, very serious competitions or tournaments, as we saw there. And it says the large amounts of prize money are helping make the sport a possible career. And games streamed online draw in ever greater numbers of fans. Well, a lot of sports go through this, right? They start off something that's played casually, then people get a bit more serious, and then people get some money involved, and then people kind of go, hey, wait a minute, I could quit my job and only do this sport, like professional athletes do. So pickleball is kind of somewhere in that journey. It's getting towards the, the maybe more serious part. The players can actually win good money, like probably $10,000 and more dollars in US money, so that's pretty good. And of course, more people playing it means more people watching it. That's why we're talking about greater numbers of fans. I noticed though they're playing, the games are shown online. You don't see them on ESPN or something, but that might be
live streaming.
That might be a few years from now. But
Maybe.
For right now, you do have to stream the games online. It won't be on your sports channel on your TV or something, but a lot of people get a lot of their entertainment, or most of it, by streaming it. When you stream something, you're basically kind of downloading it live. It's being shown or done now, and you're watching it now, and you're getting the data from your computer through the internet now as it's happening live. It's a little bit different from downloading something that then gets saved to your computer and you watch it. But if you're using Netflix, if you're watching live news, if you're watching Twitch, things like that, you are streaming things that are happening right now, live. For example, Boris streamed himself eating dinner to dozens of people.
I wonder why. I think it's really popular nowadays.
Or maybe the people are just bored.
I think so.
They should go play pickleball.
Looking to the future, pickleball organizers are hoping to take the sport to the Olympics in 2028.
Wow.
This would require a total of 75 countries to have competitive players. That's very serious.
That is pretty serious. The 28 Olympics will be in LA, which is actually close to Washington, where the game was invented, so possibly, since it's an American sport, they might have it at an American Olympics, but they'll need more players. They need 75 different countries to have their own pickleball associations, and they're almost there. Currently, 70 countries are members of the International Pickleball or International Federation of Pickleball, the IFP. So it appears pickleball has a good shot at becoming an Olympic sport. That's pretty cool. A good shot means it has a good chance. I wonder if there's a Taiwan, I don't know what, Republic of Chinese Taipei pickleball association here that we can join, and maybe you can set it up, and who knows, maybe you'll be representing your country at the 28 Olympics in LA in the sport of pickleball, which will be great. Then you'll have to, of course, explain to everyone what pickleball is.
It's going to take a
They'll
while.
have lots of questions. But I have a question for you guys. Our what do you think question. Would you like to try playing pickleball, either casually or more professionally? Why or why not? Rainbow.
I would like to try playing pickleball because I used to like tennis when I was younger.
Really?
So I want to see how it could be different and maybe what the similarities are, and also just for fun.
Wow, okay. Well, actually, I've played pickleball before. It was in 1989, and I was the Canadian junior pickleball champion. I beat Novak Djokovic in the final.
Really?
Yeah, I was so good, he quit and then started playing tennis.
This is real?
No, I'm just answering the question. All right, guys, that's all the time we have. Go out there and play pickleball, hit some of those things over the net, and who knows what you'll do. You might end up at the Olympics, and that'll be great. Until then, enjoy your pickles. Bye.
Bye.
美国各地出现了给休闲玩家用的匹克球球场。那随着这些球场越来越多，这几年来呢，有2项职业锦标赛开始运作。那么高额的奖金呢，就有助于让这项运动可能成为一种职业。而线上串流播放的比赛呢，也吸引了越来越多的球迷。未来呢，匹克球也许有机会成为一项奥运运动哦。我们来看单字 casual， 它是形容词，形容随性的、不认真的。那如果用来形容服装，它可以表达是休闲的。好，在后面加上 ly 变成副词 casually， 那就表示不经意地或是随便地。再来看到 stream 这个动词呢，它是指以串流方式直播，尤其是指这个数位影音资讯。那我们说 streaming service 就表示串流服务，还有你有听过 live streaming， 那就表示是直播、即时串流的意思。Mike 老师在讲解时用到 download， 就是 down 后面加上 load 这个动词表示下载。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
To the surprise of the game's creators, pickleball is now being played by around 4.8 million people, which is almost twice the number of players as 5 years ago. One of the reasons for this jump is that the rules are easy to learn. Also, the equipment is very simple. Paddles, a ball, and a mobile net are all you need to play on nearly any flat surface. Since the playing surface is only about 1/3 the size of a tennis court, you don't even require much room to play. As more pickleball courts for casual players pop up across the US, 2 professional tournaments have also gotten rolling in the last 4 years. The large amounts of prize money are helping make the sport a possible career, and games streamed online draw in ever greater numbers of fans. Looking to the future, pickleball organizers are hoping to take the sport to the Olympics in 2028. This would require a total of 75 countries to have competitive players. Currently, 70 countries are members of the International Federation of Pickleball, so it appears pickleball has a good shot at becoming an Olympic sport.
Hi, I'm Steven, and this is my friend Lala the hippo. The star of the Hsinchu Zoo. The zoo spent 2 years to make a lot of changes for the animals and for the people. Today, Lala will be my tour guide. Let's go in and take a look. Hsinchu Zoo was opened in 1936. It is a very old zoo. Many people have precious memories here. The zoo tries hard to give the animals better places to live. It took 2 years to improve the environment. The zoo reopened at the end of 2019. All the cages have been removed in the zoo. This new design brings visitors and animals closer. Wow, Lila, I really enjoyed seeing all the happy animals. Hsinchu Zoo may be small, but it is very creative and lovable. Come here with your family and friends. You'll definitely have a great time. See you next time. Bye-bye.
See you next time.